All right, so this is gonna be a little different. All the videos for the most part I've uploaded are just me singing and playing. Uh, I'm not a social media expert, so I thought, okay, well, maybe just have a video about songwriting, a brief video about songwriting. I've had more than a handful of you humble me and be kind enough to ask me my process. Well, I figured I'd talk a little bit about it and how I write songs. The truth is, I don't really have a process. I kind of like to toe that line between chaos and order when I write. And I can kind of give you an example. Often, what I do, maybe I'll start with a chord progression. I have my guitar with me. Often a simple one. Maybe it'll just be two chords. It just depends, right? I mean, I might have already been kind of working on a song. I might already have the progression there and just know lyrics. In some cases, in most cases, I have neither. Maybe there's a way that a strumming pattern on a certain chord. Let's say E minor, common one, right? I like to use that E minor shape to start with a lot. I like to use that C/G chord a lot. So we'll use that to start. But maybe I'll just be strumming, and it'll be something like just in 3/4. Back to that C/G. Kind of forlorn sounding, right? And like as I'm going, I may start at some point, if I'm feeling it, I'll start improvising vocal parts over this. It'll often consist of real words and not real words to start. And often in that process, I will get a line, kind of, as pretentious as it sounds, I call it, and pulling it from the ether, or it's from my subconscious. And there'll be a lot of gibberish, but maybe I'll like the way my vocals sound for a certain part. And maybe there are certain kind of hard consonant sounds that I use that are sort of percussive, and it's never conscious, but it'll happen. And when it does, I'm like, okay, that was right. And often I get a vocal melody that way, but not just a vocal melody, but I often get the percussive characteristics of my voice in there too, and the way I sing the vowels. And how I sing the vowels often depends on pitch, because certain vowels are more pitch friendly than others. So sometimes we have to modify our vowels to hit those higher notes, right? Think about blues singing. That's really where I learned that from. Listening to guys like Robert Johnson, but also people that learned their singing from blues singers, guys like Chris Cornell, Robert Plant, whatever, guys like that, who would often use that vowel modification to hit those high notes. Anyway, so I know I kind of went down the rabbit hole with vowel modification, but long story short, my general approach is simple to start. It might turn into something complicated later. Like I said, it'll often start with just a couple chords, and it just has a vibe, and I'm feeling a certain way, and either I'm already feeling that way, so I started playing that way, or it draws it out of me as I go. But this one thing I found, I can only do this in isolation. I can't go to a band practice and just start getting into a zone. It's almost like I don't want to call it a seance, but it's almost like a communion with yourself and your subconscious, and the universe, or the hell you want to call it, and God. And from that, often I get something, and if it makes me feel, it's easy to write. If it doesn't make me feel, then I'm just going to be trudging through the mud and getting nothing productive done, and it'll be a waste of time. So ultimately, I start with something simple. It often becomes, I expound on it, add different parts if needed. Sometimes I keep the whole song simple. I don't feel like I'd have a lot of control. I feel like it's almost like, again, might sound pretentious, but it's almost like you're freeing the song from the stone. It's already there. You're not even writing it. It's almost like something else does it for you. And I keep it loose, and I enjoy it. I love songwriting, and it brings me a lot of joy, and that's what makes it easy to do. Because if I hated it, then it would just be a chore. So anyway, the video got way longer than I had planned. But yeah, that's sort of the short and skinny for me. I get up early in the morning with my coffee and my guitar before my kiddo gets up, ideally, and I just start going at it. And sometimes in the evening, like right now, kiddo is using the restroom. She was in bed. I'll get her back to bed in a second here. But after I do, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to play around with some chords, and I'm just going to kind of let myself slip into this sort of headspace. It's somewhere between being outside of yourself and within yourself. You're just feeling it and going with it without asking any questions, and just trust your muse because she knows what's up. So anyway, hope that helps some of you that were curious, but have a good night.